Let's get the Bills fan side of this thing.
I guess the one bright spot of this game is thank God the 2 point conversion bet hit because if I didn't win that $82, I was gonna be pissed. But I know, I mean, in actuality, like the way I look at this game is just a bunch of lost opportunities, and we could say what we want about the press conferences after, but like Sean McDermott was right in a sense of it was wasted opportunities. They averaged starting field position at about their own 40-yard line, where I think New England was averaging about 20, 25, like factoring in the touchbacks or whatever. And, you only put up 10 points. And some of the coaching decisions, like that horrid challenge call, like I'm sitting on my couch. I'm like 3 whiskeys on the rocks in. And, I'm looking at it. I was like, all right, like if drunk Brandon is out here saying, I don't think they're going to overturn this, you probably shouldn't challenge it. You probably shouldn't challenge it. Like that was just a wasted timeout that they could have really used at the end, to stop the clock. Maybe you get a chance in the end zone with 40 seconds left, if so facto. But the lost field position, the fumble by Breida, AJ Epinesa, he had great plays at times, but, there are times where he's getting blocked out by N'Keal Harry, and AJ Epinesa has probably about 50 pounds on the dude. Like, you can't get blocked by a wide receiver. You got to lose that guy. You got to shake him off. You got to disrupt the play in the backfield. And the amount of drop. I get it. I will give you the wind, but if anyone's going to throw the ball through the wind, it's going to be Josh Allen. The guy's like Uncle Rico out there with this, the arm strength. But Dawson Knox, 3 brutal drops to kill drives. The other thing was a horrid, false start, and in the red zone. I think it was their 4th attempt down there that potentially could have gave them the game. Take the win from New England at that point, but. At times it looked like I thought Dawson Knox was maybe taking a dive with just how bad he was playing that game. And, the Bills' running attack or lack thereof, I mean, it was on full display. I mean, Devin Singletary, he really wasn't blasting through the tackles. Zach Moss really wasn't either. Breida, okay, you get the speed, but, I mean, he's not in between the tackles guy either. I would have liked to have seen him in space a little bit more. It was just massive lost opportunities at that point. And, for the defense, yeah, you gave up 200 plus yards, but you only gave up 14 points. Like this offense had times to win this game. And, yeah, Josh Allen takes a little bit of the blame pie. But I mean, it's less than, like, to me, it's 1%. Like, if anything, this is on the coaching staff, the coaching decisions. I don't know if Sean McDermott just gets so fired up playing Bill Belichick, like treating this as a Super Bowl, that maybe logic kind of goes out the window. Like, I don't know. But this team now, they're the 7th seed. They're on the outs. They're potentially on the outside looking in, and the schedule doesn't get any easier. You're facing Tampa Bay. We're going to get to that in a minute. You're going to go back up to New England in 2 weeks, and then if it gets down to the wire, the Colts and the Steelers have tie breaks over you. So like you essentially have to win out at this point. And from what I've seen on this offense, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to bullshit anybody. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. From what I'm seeing on the offense, I don't know if they can. Like, I really don't know if this Buffalo Bills team is going to be resilient enough and rally around the wagons here and win out the rest of the whole damn thing.
Yeah, and I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Birch.
I was going to say, like, you hit on the coaching staff, and for me, when I saw this the fact that McDermott gets so fired up was on the delay of game call that was called, I think, against the Buffalo Bills, where probably shouldn't have been called in this game. I mean, the clock had just hit 0. They had just snapped the ball, and they flagged him for 5 yards. And the camera hones in on Sean McDermott, and he's having an aneurysm on the sideline about it. And after that, I mean, you could just see it. You could see his body language throughout the game. You could tell there's some sort of psychological thing there when it comes to playing the Patriots, for McDermott. But on Josh Allen, I mean, you watch him in the pocket. There were a couple times where he missed guys that were open down the field because when he gets pressure and he feels the pressure, his head comes down. and he starts looking for the escape out of that pocket, and he ends up missing the guys that are open. It happened a few times last night, and he ends up scrambling out. He does get the throw off. I mean, the throw, I think it was the third down play on the last drive where he was all over the place, got out, threw the ball to Dawson Knox in the end zone. Fantastic defensive play by Adrian Phillips. He got his hand in there. I don't fault Dawson Knox for not catching that ball. That was a great defensive play by Phillips in the end zone there. He did, and I will say this, Dawson Knox did have himself a very bad day, a couple of drops, a bad false start penalty, drive killers. And, the press conferences after the game by both McDermott and Hyde and Pointer, I mean, for me, and we talked about this a bit last night, like, it seems like this team is if they haven't already, they are very close to cracking. And the GOAT Tom Brady could end up doing it for this team next week when they go down to Tampa. And I know we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I see, and I sent the GIF to you guys last night, this team just seems soft. They were not winning in the trenches against the Patriots. The Patriots dominated both sides of the ball in the trenches in terms of toughness. I just don't see it in this Bills team.